Welcome again to the lecture series on signals and systems. We are continuing our Fourier transform topic. Okay. So, in the previous class we have discussed up to the rectangular pulse we have taken as the time domain signal, and we have calculated the Fourier transform of that one, that is the sampling function we got. If you have the rectangle pulse signal with the amplitude capital A, and that is from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2, then its Fourier transform is given by a tau sampling of omega tau by 2. So, if you see here, the area under this particular rectangle pulse signal is given by a tau. Here height is a and its pulse duration is from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. That means that is tau seconds. That is tau seconds will get like this. So width is tau, height is a. So its rectangle pulse area is given by a tau. This a tau you are observing here. So the area under the rectangle pulse signal we can take as the amplitude of the sampling function in the frequency domain, and whatever the pulse width is there, that is tau here, half of this one will be available here, that is tau by 2, omega tau by 2. Omega is the variable in the frequency domain, so it has to be available here, and it is multiplied with the half of the pulse width, that is tau by 2. So area of the pulse is a tau that we are observing here. This is a tau. Next, the half of the pulse width is available here as tau by 2. Okay. So it is very important to remember the Fourier transform of the rectangle pulse signal. We have taken the rectangle pulse signal of the amplitude capital A, and pulse width is tau seconds. That is from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. And it is having the Fourier transform a tau sampling of omega tau by 2. What is sampling function? Sample of x is nothing but sampling of x is nothing but sin x by x. Here sampling of omega tau by 2 means sin of omega tau by 2 by omega tau by 2, that we got in the end of the calculation of the Fourier transform. That sin of omega tau by 2 by omega tau by 2 we have written as sampling of omega tau by 2. Then Fourier transform of the rectangle pulse. Here one general rectangle pulse they have given with values. In the previous case we have taken amplitude is a and the pulse width is available from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. But this is a problem is having the values. Okay, in place of a how much it is there? 14 by 5. This is a. So here we need to calculate the Fourier transform for this rectangle pulse, and this is looking like minus tau by 2 and it is tau by 2. So from this I need to calculate a total Fourier transform. What is the Fourier transform for the rectangle pulse, which is looking like in this way only? We have taken our standard rectangle pulse which is available from left side to right side. Okay, negative to positive side. So that is having the Fourier transform is a tau sampling of omega tau by 2. If you remember this one, you can able to use this particular one without using the basic Fourier transform integral formula. Now we are doing this problem. Okay, by assuming already we have known the Fourier transform of this particular rectangle pulse. Okay, then a is equal to 14 by 5, tau is equal to here 40 by 7, tau by 2 minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. Those values are minus 20 by 7 to plus 20 by 7. So what is the tau value? 40 by 7. Okay, so we know what is a and we know what is tau. That is enough to take the Fourier transform. Here I am writing that one. Okay, so Fourier transform I am taking here. A is nothing but 14 by 5 and tau is nothing but 40 by 7. Okay, then sampling of omega is a variable available in the frequency domain, that should be there. Next, tau by 2 is nothing but, here you no need to calculate anything. Here tau by 2, here minus tau by 2 is there. That means here 20 by 7. So it is equal to 7 ones are 7 twos are 5 ones are 5 eights. So it is nothing but 16 we got as the amplitude. 16 sampling of omega 20 by 7 or 20 omega by 7. This is the Fourier transform for the given rectangle pulse signal, provided you should know this one. Okay, you should know the Fourier transform of the rectangle pulse signal of the amplitude a and the pulse duration is from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2 is a tau sampling of omega tau by 2. In that case you can able to get this one. Okay, next, time shifting property of the Fourier transform. So we have seen the time shifting property in the Fourier series. What we have learned in the Fourier series? generally shifting in one domain, that may be in time domain or that may be in the frequency domain. If you do shifting in one domain, in the other domain the exponential has to be multiplied. Okay, because of the shifting what you will get, because of the shifting what you will get means exponential terms you will get. Okay, if you do shifting in time domain, the exponential term will come in the frequency domain. If you do shifting in frequency domain, exponential terms will come in the time domain. Like that we can able to consider. So here we are going to discuss about the time shifting property of the Fourier transform. So first I will write the this time shifting property only directly, that is x of t is the original signal that is having the Fourier transform of x of omega, and time shifting means that will be represented in the time domain like this, that is x of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform. How much it is there? You should know that statement. What is that statement regarding the shifting? Time shifting is providing the exponential in the frequency domain. So because of the x of t, you will have x of omega. Because of this shifting by t naught seconds to the right side, you will get here exponential term. So here you are thinking about the frequency domain. So here what are the things are required in the power of the e? J will be available, omega will be available, t will be available in general. E power j omega t. In case of Fourier series, e power j n omega naught t. Like this, these are the things you need to remember. In Fourier series, we'll think like this, because in Fourier series the spectrum is discrete. That means n omega naught is required. N will take integer values. So n omega naught is also indicating the integer multiples of the fundamental frequency. So discrete domain only you will get omega naught, 2 omega naught, 3 omega naught. So continuous, it is not a continuous variable. But in case of Fourier transform, it is a continuous variable. So this n omega naught is converted into the omega. So while writing the properties, if you compare the Fourier series properties with the Fourier transform properties, you will deal with this type of terms, that is e power j or e power minus j n omega naught into t, and here e power j omega t or e power minus j omega t. Okay, so because already it is converted to omega, the n omega naught is converted to omega, you can able to think like this. So why I am telling all these things means all the properties are same only. Okay, but slight simple changes will be there. Those changes you need to understand. So because of the x of t, you are getting capital X of omega as the Fourier transform, and because of t naught, because of the shifting by t naught, you are getting the exponential term. But how to write that one? That is important. Many people will confuse here. Okay, so here we need to write in frequency domain. In frequency domain, frequency is the variable. In frequency domain, frequency is the variable. Okay, t is not the variable. So omega should be omega only. Okay, that is a variable because we are writing in frequency domain. But here t should not be available. If you write t, then it is indicating omega is the independent variable and t is also independent variable. That is not the thing here. Okay, we are dealing with single variables, signals only. So here omega is the variable, t should not be a variable. But how we are getting this exponential? Because of the t naught. That's why here t naught is required. Okay, then it is perfect. And one more thing is required here. Here minus t naught is there, so you need to put to here minus. Like that you can able to remember for the time being. Okay, then x of t plus t naught. Because of the x of t, you will get capital X of omega, and because of the shifting, you will get e. And because of the plus sign, you will get plus e power j omega t. Already you know here omega is required or omega naught is required, or here t is required or t naught is required. Here omega should be available because that is a variable in the frequency domain, and this entire exponential we are getting due to the t naught. That's why here t naught. If you see here it is a time domain, so t should be the variable, t term should be available, and it is here frequency domain, so omega should be available. Then only we can tell that is a frequency domain. Okay, so these are the statements for the time domain things. X of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega into e power minus j omega t naught. Don't confuse where we need to use omega naught or where we need to use t naught, like that. Okay, you practice all these things, compare with the Fourier series formulas, do the derivation several times, so then you will get perfection. Okay, so x of t plus t naught, capital X of omega into e power plus j omega t naught. Okay, then we will see the proof for this. we know that the Fourier transform of x of t is given by capital X of omega, that is equal to integral t is from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t into e power minus j omega t dt. Okay, integral t is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Then this is for x of t. Now we need to calculate the Fourier transform of x of t minus t naught. We need to calculate the Fourier transform of x of t minus t naught. So for this one I am writing the integral equation, that is integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. Here we need to write the signal for which we are calculating the Fourier transform. Okay, we need the Fourier transform for x of t minus t naught now. Okay, e power minus j omega t dt. After writing the signal, here e power minus j omega t has to be written into dt. Okay, now this t minus t naught I am taking as k, another variable. Do the derivative for this one. Dt is equal to dk. T is a variable, that's why dt. T naught is the constant, the derivative of t naught is 0. It is equal to k is a variable, its derivative is dk. Next, limits have to be changed. Lower limit, if I substitute lower limit of t is minus infinity in this equation, minus infinity minus t naught. T naught is a number like 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Okay, so minus infinity minus 2 means you will get minus infinity only again. So k is equal to minus infinity and upper limit. So if you substitute t is equal to plus infinity, infinity minus 2 will become infinity. So k is equal to plus infinity. Okay, k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Now rechange this particular integral. K is from minus infinity to plus infinity x of k e power minus j omega. In place of t, what we need to write? K plus t naught. Dt means dk. In this way we can able to write. Okay, then Fourier transform of x of t minus t naught is equal to that integral I am writing again. So integral k is from minus infinity to plus infinity x of k e power minus j omega. In place of t, t naught plus k we got, and here dk. So it is equal to integral minus j omega t naught is constant. Why it is constant? We are doing the integration with respect to k, but here k term is not there. So remaining all are constants only. Okay, so e power minus j omega t naught is constant. Integral k is from minus infinity to plus infinity x of k e power minus j omega k dk. Like this we will get. This entire integral is looking like x of omega, e power minus j omega t into x of omega. Only k is the only change. Integral k is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Okay, so t is the independent variable that is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. K is also independent variable that is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. There is no change in the output of this particular integral. So this entire integral we can replace with the capital X of omega. So x of t minus t naught is having the integration, is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power minus j omega t naught. This is the thing. Okay. Now you can try for x of t plus t naught. X of t plus t naught means the Fourier transform will be capital X of omega into e power plus j omega t naught. Okay, x of t minus t naught means here minus will come, x of t plus t naught means here plus will come. But it is not true for the frequency shifting properties. Because of the shifting in the frequency domain, you will get exponentials here. But whenever you try for x of omega plus omega naught, here exponential will have minus. Whenever if you try for the inverse Fourier transform of x of omega minus omega naught, here you will get the exponential is positive. Here omega minus omega naught means here positive exponential. If you take here omega minus omega naught, if you take here omega plus omega naught, here negative exponential you will get. Okay. Then according to this time shifting property, now we will write the Fourier transforms of these signals. Already we know the any transform of the impulse signal is 1, not only Fourier transform. If you take Laplace transform, that is also 1 only. Okay, then what is the change in between these two? Only shifting is there, shifting by t naught. So once again I will write the formula for the Fourier time shifting property of the Fourier transform, that is x of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power minus j omega t naught. Here x of t is having the Fourier transform capital X of omega. Next, x of t plus t naught is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power plus j omega t naught. Okay, so here x of t means del of t and 1 is nothing but capital X of omega. Compare, just compare. X of t is nothing but del of t. Next, x of omega is nothing but 1. X of t minus t naught, that means del of t minus t naught. Okay, so here t naught is given, here also t naught is given. So x of t is nothing but del of t. What is the Fourier transform for this one? For x of t, what is the Fourier transform x of omega? That we need to write. For del of t, what is the Fourier transform? 1 into e power minus j omega. T naught is nothing but here t naught only. If I give here del of t minus 2, e power minus j omega 2. If I give del of t minus 5, e power minus j omega 5. So like this we have to give. Next, this one. X of t plus t naught is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power plus j omega t naught. This one already I have written here. Now compare these two. X of t is nothing but del of t. X of t plus t naught means del of t plus t naught. So it is having the Fourier transform. X of omega means like Fourier transform of del of t, that is 1 into e power plus j omega. T naught is nothing but what? T naught only. In this case it is t naught. Okay, so finally what did you understand here? I am writing here the results. Del of t is having the Fourier transform 1. Del of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform 1 into e power minus j omega t naught, or simply e power minus j omega t naught. And del of t plus t naught is having the Fourier transform e power plus j omega t naught. Okay, del of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform e power minus j omega t naught, and del of t plus t naught is having the Fourier transform e power plus j omega t naught. Okay, so this is the thing. Next, now we need to find the Fourier transform of this particular signal. Okay, f of t versus t. What they have given? By observing this one, you should get the idea from our previous knowledge what we have learned in the this particular Fourier transform. What are the basic signals we have seen? From all those signals, from all the properties what you have learned to till now, by the application of those signals, Fourier transforms of the basic signals or the Fourier transform properties, you need to solve this particular problem. What is there in this problem? By observing this one, you will get the idea, that is, it is one rectangle pulse. Here one more rectangle pulse. We have the Fourier transform for the rectangle pulse. But whatever the Fourier transform we know, that is the Fourier transform for the rectangle pulse which is in this shape. It is a rectangle, but that is available from minus tau by 2 to plus tau by 2. That is available from negative side to positive side with the amplitude capital A. Okay, it is having the Fourier transform A tau sampling of omega tau by 2. A tau sampling of omega tau by 2. This is the Fourier transform for this particular rectangle pulse signal. Already we have done that one. So you can use this particular result. Okay, you can use this particular Fourier transform for the rectangles which are available from negative to positive side equally. Negative side tau by 2 seconds it is available, and positive side also it is available tau by 2 seconds. Okay, but here if you see, this is the bigger rectangle pulse available from 0 seconds to 8 seconds, so totally on the right side only. And this is one more rectangle pulse available from 3 to 5. That means its duration is 2 seconds and this particular bigger rectangle pulse duration is 8 seconds. But both are on right side only. One is from 0 to 8 and second one is 3 to 5. So what we need to do? Means we know the Fourier transform for the rectangle pulse which is available from negative side to positive side. So we have to shift this one to the right side. We have to shift this one to the right side means time shifting property we need to apply. So whatever the signal they have given f of t, that signal I am rewriting like this, redrawing like this. Okay, f of t is equal to, I will take like this. Because we have the Fourier transform is having the linearity property, I can write the given signal into the combination of two signals, the addition of the two signals, because linearity is allowed. This is from 3 to 5. which is of the amplitude, again 4 only. Now if you add these two, you will get f of t signal. Is it correct or not? You see, 0 to 3, here amplitude is 4, 0 to 3, here amplitude is 0. Okay, so 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 to 5, amplitude is 4, 3 to 5, amplitude is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 to 8, amplitude is 4, 5 to 8, amplitude is 0. So that again amplitude is 4. So you will get this particular signal f of t using these two signals. Now what you need? The Fourier transform of this one plus the Fourier transform of this one. These two things are required. But the standard Fourier transform, whatever you know for the rectangle pulse signal, that is applicable when the rectangle pulse signal is available from left to right equal. Okay. So here total pulse width is 8. That means you need to assume this particular signal is basically available from -4 to +4 with the amplitude 4, but it has been shifted to right side by how many seconds? 4 seconds. If it is shifted this signal to the right side by 4 seconds, then this particular rectangle pulse signal you will get, and it is of 2 seconds duration, that is 3 to 5. So you need to take like this, -1 to 1 with the amplitude 4. If it is shifted to right side by how many seconds, you will get this one. We can get this particular rectangle pulse by using this rectangle pulse by shifting this one to the right side by 4 seconds. -1 plus 4 is 3, plus 1 plus 4 is 5. You will get this particular one. So what I am doing is I am taking this signal as x of t and this signal is y of t, and f of t I am writing like this. F of t is equal to x of t minus 4 plus y of t is y of t minus 4. This is x of t. If you shift this one to the right side by 4 seconds, you will get this one. That's what I have written, x of t minus 4. I have took this one as the x of t. And this is there. If you shift this one to the right side by 4 seconds, you will get this one. Okay, by adding these two, you will get given f of t signal. Okay, then for x of t, what is the Fourier transform? For x of t, the Fourier transform is given by, here once again I will write the Fourier transform for the standard rectangle pulse, which is from -τ by 2 to +τ by 2 with the amplitude a tau sampling of omega tau by 2. Okay, then for x of t I am writing the Fourier transform here itself, that is a tau. A is nothing but 4, tau is nothing but, this is the duration 8 seconds, sampling of omega tau by 2, that means 4 only. And I am writing the Fourier transform of this particular one. A is nothing but 4, tau is nothing but pulse duration 2, and sampling of omega tau by 2 is nothing but 1. Okay, these are the Fourier transforms for these two. But actually what is there? Shifting property is there. So x of t minus t naught is having the Fourier transform x of omega into e power minus j omega t naught. So we know the Fourier transform of x of t, that is this one. Okay, what is that? Fourier transform I am writing now. 32 sampling of 4 omega. It is the Fourier transform of x of t, but because of the shifting, exponential should come, e power minus j omega 4 over. This is the Fourier transform of this particular one. Okay, plus what is the Fourier transform of y of t? 4 to the 8, sample of 4, and because of shifting by 4 seconds, e power minus j omega 4. In these two, you can take 8 e power minus j omega 4 as common. So here you will get 4 sample of 4 omega plus 8 came outside, e power minus j omega 4, and remaining thing is sample of omega. Okay, this is the answer for the given question. Okay, in this way we need to do. What are the things we have applied? Linearity property of the Fourier transform, time shifting property of the Fourier transform, and what we have applied? The Fourier transform of the rectangle pulse signal. If you know all these three things, then only you can able to do this problem. So you need to remember the Fourier transforms of all the basic signals what we have done. e power minus a t u of t, e power plus a t u of minus t, e power minus a modulus of t, del of t minus t naught, del of t plus t naught. What is the Fourier transform of 1? What is the Fourier transform of u of t? What is the Fourier transform of signum function? All those things you need to remember, and all the properties you should remember, and you need to know at what time we can able to apply what property. All those things you need to understand and you need to apply. By seeing the problem itself, you need to know what are the things are to be applied. Okay, so this problem is related to the two rectangle pulses. So rectangle pulse Fourier transform you need to know, but not directly here. Those two rectangle pulses have been shifted to right side. So you need to think in such a way that what are the properties, what are the basic signals are required in order to do the problem. Okay, then Fourier transform of f of t is capital F of omega that they have given. Find the Fourier transform of g of t in terms of f of omega. Okay, so see the problem very carefully. They have given for f of t, the Fourier transform is capital F of omega. This is okay. Find the Fourier transform of g of t in terms of f of omega. When it is possible, generally f of t is f of omega, g of t means g of omega, but this g of omega we need to write in terms of f of omega as a function of f of omega. Like this we have to write. Okay, that means what we need to do means we need to write g of t in terms of f of t, then it is possible. G of t if you write in terms of f of t, and if you solve, that means if you try to get the Fourier transform, automatically that will come in terms of the f of omega only. That's what they are asking. Okay. Okay, see carefully. First shift this particular f of t signal to the right side by how many seconds? Okay, that's what you need. If you see this g of t signal, this is of 1 second duration. That is from minus 1 by 2 to plus 1 by 2. 1 second duration is there. The duration of f of t is also 1 second only. So no need to touch the duration of that one. That means no need to apply the scaling property. That is one observation. Next, shift this one to the right side by 0.5 seconds. Okay, or 1 by 2 seconds. So if I shift that one, f of t minus 1 by 2 seconds. This 1 by 2 we are adding to this. So minus 1 plus 1 by 2 will become minus 1 by 2. 0 plus 1 by 2 will become 1 by 2. In the middle 0 will be there. The amplitude is 1. Okay. So here y-axis will be there. This is y-axis. Now think about it. What we need to do on this particular signal to get g of t? G of t is of constant amplitude 1 is there, but f of t minus 1 by 2 is having the negative slope, negative ramp is there. Just perform the time reversal here. That means rotate this particular signal with respect to y-axis. Then what you will get? Signal starts like this. That means it will go like this. Here amplitude is 1. Okay. Here how much amplitude will be there? 1 by 2. Here how much amplitude is there? 1 by 2. Add these two. At t is equal to minus 1 by 2, what is happening? 1 plus 0 is 1. At t is equal to 0, what is happening? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 1. At t is equal to 1 by 2, what is happening? 0 plus 1, 1. That means if you add these two, you will get a constant slope. Constant amplitude you will get. That is 1. So you are getting this particular signal. Over. So g of t we are writing as f of t minus 1 by 2 plus f of minus t minus 1 by 2. Writing this equation is enough to solve the problem. Okay. So what are the operations we need to perform on the f of t signal to get g of t signal? That means we are writing g of t in terms of f of t. Okay. Then that is enough. Okay. Here we no need to calculate the Fourier transform of the f of t signal. That is represented with capital F of omega. So that is enough to do the problem. And g of t has to be written in terms of the f of t. Now apply the Fourier transform for this. Fourier transform of g of t is equal to Fourier transform of f of t is capital F of omega, and because of the shifting you will get exponential, minus is there, so minus e power minus j omega, shifting is 1 by 2, here you will get 1 by 2 plus f. So small f of t Fourier transform is capital F of omega, because of the time shifting you will get e power minus j omega 1 by 2. Next, because of the time reversal, what you will get? Frequency reversal will also be happen. That means omega will become minus omega, so you will get like this. Okay, so here time reversal property once again I am writing. For example, x of t is having the Fourier transform x of omega, x of minus t is having the Fourier transform x of minus omega. Time reversal will be equivalent to frequency reversal. Okay, so because here t is multiplied with minus 1, omega should be replaced with minus omega, that's why these are the changes we got. So that is a given thing. Time scaling property of the Fourier transform. Okay, x of t is having the Fourier transform x of omega. Time scaling means represented with x of at. The Fourier transform is given by 1 by modulus of a x of omega by a. Okay, this is a Fourier transform for the x of at. Now we need to prove this one. Proof. Fourier transform of x of t is given by integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. Fourier transform of x of at is given by integral t changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. Here we need to write the signal for which we are calculating the Fourier transform, that is x of at, then e power minus j omega t dt. At is equivalent to k, some other variable. A into dt is equal to dk. Okay, then lower limit I am substituting. So k is equal to, by taking t is equal to minus infinity, k is also minus infinity, you will get upper limit. K is t is equal to plus infinity means k is equal to plus infinity. Now change the integral by replacing at is equal to k. So integral k is from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k e power minus j omega t means what you will get? K by a, and dt is nothing but dk by a. Like this you will get. Okay, this dk by a is constant, so I am writing outside. K is from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k e power minus j omega. This k by a means that a I am writing as the denominator of omega into k, it is dk. Okay, now just see this. This integral is equal to what? X of omega actually. Okay, integral is required. We are doing integration with respect to t, so t should be changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of t e power minus j omega t dt. This entire thing we are writing as capital X of omega. Why should we write capital X? Because here small x is there. Why should we write omega? Because here omega is there. E power minus j omega t, in that in between minus j and t what is there, that should be available within the bracket of capital X. Integral variable is k, variable is t, changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. Small x is the signal, small x is the signal. E power minus j, if it is omega k, this entire thing has to be written as capital X of omega only. But in place of omega, what is there? Omega by a, so you should write omega by a. That is thing. So proof is over. But you may get doubt. Here modulus is taken. Why should we take that modulus? You try to do this entire procedure for this signal x of 2t and x of minus 2t. For these two signals you try to do. Here a is equal to 2. Here a is equal to minus 2 actually. Okay. So if you do the Fourier transform for this one, you will get 1 by 2 capital X of omega by 2. And for this one, if you do 1 by 2 x of omega by minus 2, you will get. So what is the observation you are made here? A is 2, but outside is 1 by a. Okay. That means 1 by 2 you got. Here a is minus 2, but outside you are getting as 1 by 2 only. You will not get 1 by minus 2. You will get 1 by 2 only. That means it may be negative value or it may be positive value. You will get outside is positive value only you will get. That's why modulus is given in the formula. But inside the bracket, if it is positive, you will get positive. If it is negative, it is negative. That's why A only given within the bracket. Okay. So why we are getting this modulus means you perform these two, you will that doubt will be clarified. Okay. So here one note point is given that you see. For example, a is less than 1 or a is greater than 1. First we will think about this one. If a is less than 1, x of 8 is called expanded version. Okay. If a is greater than 1, x of 8 is called compressed version of the x of t. All those things we know already. So because x of 80, but here capital X of omega by a. So whatever the operation we are performing here, the reverse operation is performing in the frequency domain. If a is greater than 1, we will tell it is a compressed version. When a is greater than 1, it is called the expanded version. All these things we have studied in our first unit only, basics. Okay. If a is less than 1, it is expanded. At that time, it will become compression. Okay. So opposite. So expansion in one domain leads to compression in the other domain and vice versa. Thank you.